Hey everybody, it's Mr. Truehaus here, and the purpose of this video is to walk you through a template or a format that I like my students to use when they are creating presentations. So for this presentation, I'm going to use Google Slides. You can use any presentation product that you wish for this. I know PowerPoint is your parents' presentation program. However, if you check it out, it's actually pretty cool, some of the things that they've done in PowerPoint. There's also Canva and other online options. You choose whatever you want to do your project on in terms of software, and just follow this template. So again, I'm just using Google Slides because it's easy for me and it's available. So for this project, I'm going to do just a general overview of how to structure it. So some of the slides might apply to our project, some of them might be more generic, but you'll know what I want to see when you are doing a presentation. So I'm going to put down, let's go introduction. You'll see I make spelling mistakes. I'll fix them too. So I'm just putting in my title. And then you're going to throw in your name. You'll see right now my presentation's ugly. I don't care. It's white with black font. It doesn't look good. I'm not worried about that. If you want to change your theme before you do this, I'm totally cool with that. However, I'm more interested in setting up a structure. Similar to an essay. An essay always has the same structure. Presentations aren't hard to do or hard to build. We just follow this structure every time. So I'm going to insert a new slide here. All right. And you'll see in the instructions, I want an introduction or a brief description. Okay, and here you're going to briefly describe, introduce your topic. You're not adding anything else here. No solutions, no research, or nothing. You say, this presentation discusses priorities for Canada over the next 2 decades when it comes to international business. Something simple like that. Toss in a picture and you're good to go. Now, what I always want you to do is I want you to establish yourself as an expert in whatever topic it is you are discussing. So to do that, we always have some background. And I suggest having 2 to 3 slides probably will do the trick. So I just copy and paste these, add them. And then I don't have bullet points. I want you to use bullet points, so I'm throwing one in here. I'm going to throw in some background information, okay? Okay, so you might talk about a country's GDP, GDP per capita, maybe inflation, maybe trade agreements, major industries, whatever it is you might be doing. And you may want to chunk these. So maybe my first background might be on economic data. Second one might be trading partners. So if I want, depending on my project again. So I'm doing this as a general overview, but you'll get the gist of what I'm doing. So maybe I'll do background economic data. My next slide maybe will be background on major trade agreements. And then maybe I will talk about my industries. So as an example, in this presentation I'm doing, this fictional presentation, I'm setting up a background and I'm just going to throw in some bullet points. I don't want to put 4,000 bullet points, 3 to 4 bullet points, and then add a video or add an image because this is a visual product that you're creating. You want your audience to be interested in what you're doing. So once I've done my background, I've established myself as an expert. I then want to start to get into my major research. And it'll be difficult for me here to show you exactly what to do in your research because we are doing a fictional scenario. However, you'll get the point. What I do when I'm setting up my slideshow is I then start to structure what my research is. So what are the 3 or 4 major points that I want to look at? So just like an essay, you've got your introductory paragraph, and then you've got your supporting paragraphs. Consider these next few slides as your supporting paragraphs where you get into the major part of your research. Okay, so I don't know. I'm picking a scenario here. I'm going to pick Canada moving to have a free trade agreement with, let's pick a country, Afghanistan. All right. So let's say that's what I'm doing. I might talk about the importance of trade agreements for Canada. Okay. And then maybe my next slide, drawbacks of further trade. Whoops, don't know what I just did there. And then I might do a slide on data that shows the various trade things that Canada does, and so on and so forth. So 3 to 4, 5 slides on my research. And then finally, I'll have a conclusion, or if it's appropriate, a recommendation. And in this slide here, I'm going to wrap up my presentation, or I'm going to make a recommendation. So based on the research, Canada should pursue a free trade agreement with Afghanistan or should not pursue a free trade agreement with Afghanistan. And here are the reasons why. And then finally, the last slide you're going to have is works cited, and please use MLA format. You can either grab, there used to be an add-on called EasyBib that's not really available to you here, but there are several. You can go to easybib.com or other works cited websites. Just do a Google search for it. Throw in the website or your resource you use, and it should help you spit out a MLA formatted works cited, and then just add that here so that you are giving credit to the authors of all of the research that you did. So you'll see again that this is a pretty ugly presentation because I haven't prettied it up at all. However, it flows well. So I've got my introductory slide, like my title slide, an introduction of my topic. So today I'm going to be discussing the benefits and drawbacks of a free trade agreement with Afghanistan and making a recommendation whether Canada should move forward or not. So here's some background data. And here's some GDP, GDP per capita, inflation, unemployment, whatever, because I'm an expert. Here are some major trade agreements that Canada currently has. So the North American Free Trade Agreement, or whatever it's called now, and blah, 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 blah. Trade agreement with the European Union, and so on. So, wow, am I ever an expert on Canada and trade? And then here are some major industries, oil and gas, minerals, forestry, manufacturing, and here's some data on that. So, holy cow. I'm ready to now wow you with my research because I have established myself as an expert. And then I will get into my research. So in this, importance of trade agreements, drawbacks of further trade, some data, and finally a conclusion. Based on the research that has been completed, Canada should or shouldn't, and so on. Here's my work cited, and Bob's your uncle. So that's how we do a presentation, a business presentation for me. Follow that format every single time. Whether you're doing a presentation on onions or you're doing a presentation on Disneyland or on Miley Cyrus, I really don't care, although it would be weird if you did a presentation on Miley Cyrus in this course. So please go back and use this. The last thing I will say is obviously this is ugly. Let's make it pretty. So I like to use a pre-selected theme just because it makes everything simple for me. If you want, you can go to slide, edit theme, and if you do that, you can actually change fonts and colors and play around with that. So if that's something you want to do, and it'll automatically update things for you. And then make sure you're adding pictures. So the last thing I do is I want this thing to look good. And the nice thing about Google is I can just go insert, and I want to do an image, and I can search the web, and I'll just look up international business right now. All right. So I like this. It's gonna, you guys know this already, but I want to add an image. I like to tell my students, because this is a visual product that I'm creating, I try to go about 50% of my slide. So even here, this was not the intent of my template, but instead of, or my tutorial, but I might as well show you. So if I want here, I can crop this image out. You can do Google searches on how to do that. And I'm starting to pretty things up. So here I might throw in a YouTube video. So I'll do a search here, international business. And I'm just doing this because it's an example. And if this is the video I like, I'll throw it in here. Again, roughly 50% of my slide, and my show starts to look better. You might have your own style, which I appreciate. However, my guide is make sure you have visuals, videos. Use videos whenever you can to help back up all your points. So there it is. There's a sample template, and there's a sample tutorial on how to make a business presentation for Mr. Truhaas's business classes. So enjoy your first assignment, everyone, and or your second, or your third, or your 10th assignment. And as always, have a great day. Reach out to me, shoot me an email if you have any questions. Cheers.